Hi, this is Erica here with your weekly yoga preview. We're going to be going back to hips again this week, like we did a couple of weeks ago, bringing our hips wide, and we're going to be working towards Sundial pose and Tortoise pose, Kurmasana. So we're going to start with Supta Kurmasana, bringing the legs as wide as they'll go. And then one of the main things we're going to focus on is the feet. You want to make sure that your feet are, if you had a block beside your foot, your big toe mound would be right above your ankle, and the foot, the inner edge of the foot would be perpendicular to the floor. Usually the tendency is to have the legs turned out a little bit, so we're gonna even use our hands to turn the legs in and have that foot straight up and down. So coming into your wide seat here, take a look at those feet, see if you need to pull the big toe mounds in towards each other, and then even using your hands to lift the flesh up and away and rotate the inner thighs in towards the ground. Then bringing the hands back behind the hips, just coming to fingertips, and draw your shoulders back so that they're over the hips. Take the low ribs and the sides of the waist back, press into the fingertips so you can lengthen tall but not bringing your shoulders up to your ears. And then engaging the quadriceps, so pulling the quadriceps as if you're using these muscles to draw your knees up towards your hips. Bring your hands out in front of you. If you can stay upright when you move your hands away, you can bring your hands away. If you start to round, then you're just going to stay here and work here, pressing into the fingers to come a little bit forward. Try to lengthen out of the pelvis. Try to keep the low ribs back, the sides of the waist back, and then bring your hands out in front. And keeping the hands up off the ground at first, make sure the legs are working. So really engaging those quadriceps. Find your sit bones back behind you and slide them towards the wall behind you. So you begin to lengthen your spine out of your pelvis again, reaching your shoulders up out of your pelvis. So you can slide your sit bones back again. Try to lengthen, especially that lower back. It's going to want to round. Make sure the feet are engaged, the quadriceps are engaged. Those perpendicular lines are still there with your feet. And then if you want, you can reach your arms out nice and far in front of you. That's going to focus on the length of the spine. Do a couple more breaths here. See if you can send your sit bones back to the wall behind you. Maybe inch your fingers forward again. Make sure your legs are nice and engaged. And then walking your hands back up. Take your right hand to the inner right knee. Bring that foot so it comes flat on the floor. Your right hip is going to lift up off the floor a little bit. And the left leg is going to want to twist open now and really focus on keeping it to the inner thigh reaching towards the ground. Left hand takes hold of the right shin, anywhere. It can be up near the knee or down near the foot. And then we're going to bring the right hand, our right hand behind us, lengthen up, twist to your right. Have a look back over that left shoulder towards your left foot, using your left hand on your right leg as a lever, where you're going to rotate yourself to the right and then side bend to the left. That right arm reaches up, see if you can reach it back towards the wall behind you, and then reaching over the ear. Maybe it can find the foot, maybe the big toe, maybe the outer edge of the foot, and then using your upper elbow, your right elbow, to bend and reach up to the sky and back towards the wall behind you. Take your right knee away from you. Pull on that right calf with your left hand. See if you can get your left shoulder in front of your left leg. Make sure you're breathing. Keep that left leg nice and active. One more breath here. And then with your next inhale, push everything into the floor so you can come back up. And then bring your right knee down so it's in line with your right foot. Split the calf and bring your right foot in so you're in half virasana. And then take hold of the bottom of the right ankle, the front of the right ankle, and just open that leg up. Try and open it more than 90 degrees. Bring your hands in front of you on the floor so you can push yourself up. Your left hand comes down underneath your hips to take hold of your right ankle, and then you sit your hips back down. Again, twisting to the right, looking back over your shoulder to the left, and then coming down, trying to bring your left shoulder in front of your left leg, not on top of it. Right arm reaches up, it reaches back to twist, and then again it comes over the ear, and maybe you can take hold of the foot. Push your toe mounds into your hand and pull back with your hand on your toes, your toe mound, so that you can rotate, bringing that elbow up to the sky and then back towards the wall behind you. Make sure you're breathing here. See if you can lift your right ribs up away from your left ribs. Try to get your torso up off your left leg. Keep the neck nice and long. Keep breathing. And then releasing that, bringing the right arm up, sliding the left hand out, and then bringing that knee back in, lengthening the leg, turning the knee out, bending it so that the right foot comes back in nice and close. Try to get your right heel on your right thigh rather than on the left thigh so that the knees are wider than 90 degrees again. Bring both your hands to either sides of the right leg, the bent leg. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. Stay twisted to the right. Look back over that left leg. And then bringing the left arm down. If it doesn't quite reach the ground, you can use a block for support. If it does reach the ground, you're going to slide the hand down. Maybe you can take hold of your foot. Right arm lifts up and reaches back towards the wall behind you. And then reaches over the ear and maybe takes hold of the outer edge of the foot. You can use your bottom elbow, your left elbow, to walk your shoulder forward and try and get it to the inside edge of the left leg. And then your right elbow bends up to the sky to rotate back, trying to pull your left shoulder blade forward, right shoulder blade back. Press your right knee, your bent knee, into the ground and lengthen it away from you. Try to lengthen your spine. Lift your right side of your torso up towards the sky. Lengthen both legs out of the pelvis and breathe. And then inhale, coming back up. Bring that left leg in. And then you can do all that on the other side. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip it. And I'm going to work on Sundial now. So we just worked on, I guess we worked on both legs. Maybe I'll do my left leg to come into Sundial. So having both legs crossed in Sukhasana, easy pose. Left leg is in front. Then we're going to bring the left leg out and just do a couple of rocks here, rock in the cradle with that leg. If your hip is not open enough to do this right away, you can take the hand to the knee and just do a couple of bending and straightenings of the leg. That helps. Take the knee around in circles, and then eventually coming here to rocking the baby, trying to get the foot up as high as the knee, and then also as close to the knee, as close to the chest as the knee is. So the knee is moving away as the foot is coming in. This foot is super flexed, and you're pushing your big toe mound and that big toe edge of the foot into the arm. Then we're going to bring the left hand under the left shin, or the left calf, and try to bring that leg up as high up onto your shoulder as you can. Your hip can come off the ground. And then we're just going to pause here, actually take a bit of a detour. Straighten the right leg out in front of you. Bring both hands flat to the floor. Look forward. So your hands are in front of your hips. Press the arms straight so your hips come up. And then see if you can lift that right leg up off the ground. Take a couple of breaths here. Spread to the toes. And then lower it back down. See if you can, actually we'll bend the right leg. See if you can get that left leg up a little bit higher. Bring the left hand to the floor, and then take your right hand to the outside edge of the foot, so you can see my hand is crossing over the top of the foot, and then my fingers are wrapping around the outside edge. And then pushing into this hand, just start to push your foot away from you to start to bring it straight. Your right arm will come over your head, back behind your head, and then you can turn to face the right, look up to the sky. See if you can drop your left hip, take the left sit bone in towards the tailbone, straighten your left arm again. See if you can bring your left leg a little straighter. Then maybe you can even look forward, rock over onto your right hip, bring the left hand onto the right ankle. See if you can straighten that left leg again, bring it a little closer to the body, and then lower that leg down and release. And then we would do the other side. but again, in terms of the length of this video, I'm going to just do one side. And then for tortoise pose, we're going to bring the feet up into kind of a wide, relaxed squat. And then bring your knees wide so you can bring your whole torso inside the legs. Start to walk your arms underneath your legs, and you can do that calf rolling to get the arms up as close to the shoulders as you can. Bring your hands up flat to the floor beside you. Lengthen your spine a little bit. And then trying to keep your feet as close together as you can. Bring your feet just to the heels and start to slide your heels away from you to see how close you can come to the floor, how straight you can bring your legs. Make sure you're breathing here. See if you can lengthen your spine out of your pelvis. One more breath here. Maybe you can come a little closer to the ground. Maybe getting that chin all the way to the ground. And then drawing the heels back in, releasing the arms, and coming back to seated. And that's your short little preview for today. A little bit of a tutorial, I guess, towards those two poses. As usual, we're going to do lots of warm-ups, some shoulder openers, and then after we're done, do a bit of back bending, just some really gentle back bends to open up the body in the opposite direction. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that inspires you to come to class, piques your interest, or gives you ideas for your own practice at home or teaching your own classes. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a great week.